Pixie chats with Nats and the Pixies. Anyways, just wanted to come on, say good day. Don't really talk. And Team Love talk is what I wanted to sort of bring up today. Team Love, yay. Um, we hear lots of people in the community say, loved one back in 2012 and all these sorts of things that gets thrown around. And, well, love always wins in my eyes. But in that sense that things changed in our timelines, that the trajectories back then in 2012 did change. And we all had the choice to choose life and love. And so it's not easy choosing love in every single moment in a experiment or in a simulation that is duality. Where we have light and shadow, or what people say, light and dark, male, female. But love is from home. It's in the middle. It's neutral. And so when we have situations come up in our everyday life, our response could be really negative straight up. Our thoughts could respond in a negative way. Later on, then it's just a situation and we choose something a lot more loving. But I know myself personally, since 2012, when they say those things, how many of us have really chose love in everything that they're thrown at us. So we're going to throw this at you. Are you going to choose love? We're going to throw this at you. You're going to choose love. I've had a lot of physical things to deal with that are many times when I've had days in pain is where it gets you the most, when you're lying there alone and the negative loops come in and it's easy to get straight on that bandwagon and start just dismissing people and using anger as an excuse to justify how you're feeling at the time, and it's certainly not love. And in training to be a team leader in Team Love, it hasn't been easy with the things that I've been physically thrown in my life with my vessel, and to keep choosing love and keep going and believing in me and choosing me, and in no way ego, in that sense that everything that we've been shown in this place, in this beautiful experience of duality that has been going for many, 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 many hundreds of thousands of years, and all of us have experienced some beautiful and amazing things in that duality. And at the moment, in this part of it, the duality experience, where we all would like to have this human experience, has well gone beyond equal duality. It has not been 50-50 at all. It is no mean a competition to be who has the most team light, team dark, in the duality game. And it certainly has got to that space where the duality of the dark stuff and the experiences are just as the experiences aren't necessary anymore. It's become redundant in that negative aspect. And so to bring balance of the light back in, so that we're back in an equal duality of this experience, is something that has been happening and going to continue on from here on in at the moment. And that's where the choice of choosing love with whatever comes up, with things that might come up on the media, choosing negativity straight away. When we see something negative and we think, oh my God, that's so horrific, that's so shocking, we have the creative essence and power to change that thing. Love. Okay, so in that moment, wow, that's really full on. look at all those floods, look at all those fires, look at all those negative things, and you know, just go into it and start feeding. And then people go into, oh, I bet you it was this dark thing, I bet you it was that dark thing. Now, all of those aren't very, like, then in the training that I've been training myself in to be a part of the team love, that all of those aren't really love actions. That when those come up, just see whatever it is. See the flood disappearing. See everyone's homes being rebuilt. See everyone home. See everyone healthy and happy. See everyone full of food. When you see these fires or whatever, you know, see it all cleared out. See everyone's hearts healed. You know, instead of thinking, oh, it's conspiracies, oh, and they're covering up for this thing and they're covering up for that thing. Like, that's a part of the duality game. And when we're part of Team Love, the training of seeing these things, it's not putting your head in the sand and going, oh, that doesn't exist, I'm not going to look at it. But when they come into our existence, just be like, wait a minute, that is far from love. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to put this in place now. I'm going to put the most loving, highest version, not the most loving, highest version, the most greatest version of heaven, like from home. And so we can keep expanding that heaven space, that light, dark duality, this experience, so we can rebalance it out before we go back home. And that's what we're preparing for that amazing experience of when all of the gates open and everyone gets to see the most stunning, beautiful things, and we walk back in home and we remember who we are. And so at the moment we're rebalancing all of that. So when we hear love wins, it wins when you choose it. We all are universes, individual universes. We are all our own universal beings. We're all our own God, we're our own saviour, we're our own healer, we're our own light, we're our own energy. Choose you. Choose your love. This is not ego or narcissistic. This is straight up letting go of all of the outside narratives so that we can rebalance back into the love space so that we can see who we are before the gates open and start living that heaven here before we go back. And so that everyone here that is experiencing the harsh side of the duality can at least have that harmony in their heart and see, wow, you know, it wasn't all negative, because of how far the duality went from 50-50 to 60-40, and you know, lately it's been like 90 to 10% light and shade. But that's for a reason, because you know, those sectors had been hidden for a long time, and so us putting all light back in every sector, love following that light into every sector, so love in every sector, then we're just bringing it all back into balance. And so that mimics in our body as well. You know, we have all different ailments that we've acquired over the years through belief systems, experiences, and whatever it may be, and giving our powers away. I was sharing my energy with angels, deities, other demigods, goddesses, ascended masters, all these sorts of things which are very beautiful and amazing in this construct, and all have their part to play, just like we have our part to play. But I am really excited to get to that stage in my life where we are equal. We are all equal in this game. And so instead of petitioning other people, angels, ascended masters, or other things for healings, for light, for protection or shielding, I merely just call on myself, the part of me that's back home in the real heaven, and I call that part of me in, and I expand that out here. So I'm doing my best to bring balance into my own vessel, healing into my own vessel. All of these years, there's some nights, just an example of, as we grow up, our, our spiritual maturity grows. We have things like our dolls, and as we grow up as children, and we have different religions and things that we put permission slips into to help us through, and that is beautiful. And then it gets to that point where you're like, oh wow, these were all amazing, they helped me all through, they still exist, they're still there, but we sit equal, we're the same, and I don't need to call upon them for things that I can do myself because we're all the same. So, choosing love in this moment, in all moments, there's always going to be duality in this construct because that's a part of the experience. But it's our choice in what we want to focus on, and what part of it, that we can bring, wow, that's really dark. Am I just going to feed that and condemn it, or I'm going to stay in the loop and I'm going to talk negatively about it for the next few days and the next few weeks? Oh my God, did you see that? Oh, that was happening. Oh, that was so bad. That's so bad. Or we can just look at that and see, wow, that's really dark. I think it needs some love. And heal it over. And so, thank you for allowing me to speak like this and share. And if you're listening, my excitement is taking me through a lot of topics in a short amount of time, because I'm excited. I'm excited about love. I'm excited to share with people about, instead of seeing the duality of this just experience, to remember that center space, love, that we're connected back home, and that we don't have to choose that role of the construct. Pull out of that role of the construct. Sometimes we get feared up. We're going to be lonely. We're going to be lonely when we're suffering. No, we're going to have more friends, more communications, more of all those sorts of things, because we're all equal. We're not bowing down or giving away our power to other people and pretending that we're friends. And playing the roles. Taking your power back out of that construct of duality and playing you in the space of love, which is heaven. You play you. You don't play the light side of you or the night side of you in the duality game, the roles that we were meant to play or whatever we signed up in this karmic loop of this construct, which was very beautiful. And there's been some amazing experiences that I've had in many millions of my lifetimes. It has been lovely and it has been harsh. And that's part of the duality experience. But in this construct and where we're in at the moment, it's been way out of balance. And so all of us coming back into balance and into the center point, connecting back to you, connecting back to the greater being of you that is back home in heaven, and bringing that heaven here. We're going to expand out the space of heaven here and make it a lot more enjoyable experience for everyone while we're still here in the construct. And so a part of that, it comes down to you. In your everyday single life stuff, we whinge and moan, and we call ourselves names, we call our family and friends names, and naughty names that is unnecessary. It's far from love. And you understand and see and feel when it's far from love, because when people are shouting and yelling, you can see that they've got so far past this center bubble of love that they have to yell at you and say, what are you yelling for? Come back closer to your heart, come back into love. We don't need to yell. We can hear you in the love zone. There's other things that we choose to do all the time that pulls us out of that space. I'm going through it, everyone's going through that shift of pulling your coherence in, pulling your calm space in, pulling away from light and shade and left and right and male and female and whatever these duality things are, and remembering love in the center and just coming from that space. It is powerful, more powerful than any drug or alcohol that you can take. Being in that love space, that blissful feeling that people are craving, it's in the love space. And it's patient, it takes a while. And yes, a lot of our experiences and traumas will get bored with the love space. That's cool. Step outside and do what you need to do, rebalance yourself back in. It's a little refinement, a learning curve of our ego, our light and shadow, refining how to be in that love space all of the time and react from in that space. And it's just a part of maturing as a species, maturing as a soul, and waking up to the fact that we are just having a beautiful experience here, and where our soul is all back home. And we just only have to connect through our heart, and which can be very difficult with a lot of us with trauma and grief and lots of trauma. But it takes a deep dive and a lot of strength. Love. The strength that you pull from yourself from back home. And sometimes we're that far from love that we've got to dig deep. That's that meaning. You've got to dig deep to find your connection back home to love, back home for heaven, and bring it here, you know. But we can do it. You can do it. And that saying, mate, love is the way. It's because I've experienced the duality in its extremities, and as dark as the things I experienced, and with the most miraculous, beautiful things, you know, and that flip of intensity of duality is just not a very nice experience, to be honest. Because when we're in that love zone, those miracles that we're acquiring from having such a harsh negative experience, and it's like, oh, but you're gonna get this miracle at the end. When you're just coming from love and you're connected to your greater being who's back home in heaven, miracles present as you create them and choose them. So I'm still training every day, you know. I have, especially when I have pain come up, in a couple of days in a row, like recently, broke me, you know. I was going to tear down some establishments, you know, but I realised that's not love. That we don't just tear things down, we bring light into a situation, we follow it with love, and love rebuilds. Love fixes it, because love is kind, love is calm, love is patient. Love is what is home, is heaven. So, yeah, I'm still training every day when the experiences come in, and it's good to have team talks, and take the wins when you win. You're like, you know, I had a really wild experience, and then in the duality, I had this most beautiful person take care of me in this situation, and everything else just absolutely flowed amazingly. The person beside me experienced a completely different side of it. Whinged the whole time, whinged at all of the people trying to assist, whinged about everything. And so then I also had the choice. Like, I've seen the duality right there, right? And my experience is that, wow, I chose me in this moment, I choose love. I can see the duality, and it's like, just that person needs a bit of extra love. Just calm the situation, focus on the beautiful things that are going on here. And so then when I got home from that experience, I then had the choice to choose love. Which was I going to focus on? So sharing that experience with the Pixies, I said, oh wow, this was so beautiful. These people took care of me. This flowed, and it was so lovely. And I had my own yummy food to eat that I bought in myself, and it was so lovely. And compared to the experience of this person, and they, and this was their experience in the same thing, and and then leave it at that, and just be grateful for the experience and the outcome that they acquired, and but then they had little creep-ins, of the shadow. Oh, why would someone say something like that? I should maybe call about that and just say, you should have some protocols set up for, other people in those situations that, and I was sitting there going, listening to this narrative going on in my mind, and I just sort of went, wait a minute, I'm not in the love zone, and just took a deep breath and come back in and just went and calmed that one down. I went, yeah, that was really full, and that was part of the duality, but look how beautiful all that was, and look at the outcome that's happened. And so that was just just wanted to share that experience that we're all still learning to choose love, because it's in every single person, right? There are hundreds of thousands of things going on out there, war, bombing, all of that. In each single individual person in those hearts, whether they're being the persons that's bombed, whether they're people that are doing that, whatever it may be. Each individual doing that inner work to just love you and choose love in every single moment, all of those other things just dissolve. All of those negative things that are feeding off us just disappear. Like when you do a parasite cleanse, it takes a couple of weeks, a month, 6 weeks to do a proper good clean one, because you're starving off things that have been feeding on you for a long time. And that goes for all of these narratives and all of these things and the negative things that come in. They would get the feed by you sitting there looping in your mind going, yeah, I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to get on the bandwagon and I'm going to go and do this. And it's like just choosing love and going, wait, no, snap it off. No, thank you. I had the experience. This experience is over. Right here in this now moment, I'm choosing love. I'm going to get on with life, Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, I had a little rampage with some stuff, and because I wanted to share for a while about choosing love. It's not easy, and I mean it's not very easy at all. And you can add in some other letters into that fairy. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the inner work. And I mean, that inner work means when you're tired, when you're cranky, when you run down, when people have shit come up in your face, and you have a lot of things in that negative duality come up. That's when the inner work comes in. You've got to be the loving higher being, the greater being that says, wait, I'm going to take a breath back into the center, and I'm going to pull heaven through to here. I'm going to pull the most loving thing I can pull into this moment. I'm going to just train every day. Practice makes perfect. Keep on practicing. Snail's pace, awesome. Snail pace, super ace, because heaven is always there. Outside of this construct and duality experience, is our soul family and everyone, our own greater self back home in love, dreaming this experience. And so if we can do our best with what is coming our way all the time, and in this now moment when everyone is starting to feel and see, you can feel it, you can see it. And when you choose that love, all of a sudden something that feels like this all of a sudden goes like this. We got this. This is what love's about. This is what the experience is about. Love. And that bringing that feeling of heaven back in. So anyways, I love you all. Hi from Sophia and hi from Lazy here at the Pixie Palace. Woo! Love is the way and we're practicing every day. Choose you, your greater highest you, and choose love in the game of duality. The winner is always love. We're the ones that have to choose it in every now moment. I love you.